kids, Shubha Mangalam. This is Hemalata at Little Scholar High School. Children, what I'm doing now? Yes, I'm asking you what I'm doing now. Yes, I'm communicating with you, isn't it? I'm talking to you. Okay. Now, if you want anything or if you want to say anything, what you will do? You will communicate. You will talk, whether it is your family members or your anyone else, any other person, isn't it? Whatever you want to say, whatever you feel, you will speak out. Okay, that is one thing. Now, if you want to talk to someone who is away from you, isn't it? We are communicating with the people who are near to us. Normally if we speak, they can hear us, that is okay. But if you want to speak to your aunt or uncle who is in another place, okay, if you want to speak to your friend who is in another country, okay, if you want to speak to your father who went to office, you want to give some important message to your father and he is in the office and you want to give the message, then how you will do? He is somewhere sitting in the office, you are in the house, then how you can give the message? All these are my simple questions. Yes, but all I know, all you will answer, just teacher, I'll just give a call, okay, I'll just text a message in my phone and my father will get the information. I'll just type a mail to my friend and my friend will get the message. I'll just call up my uncle and aunt and I'll talk to them. Yes, it is easy to say all that. Yes, children, that is, we are using different methods, we are using different devices, we are using different instruments to communicate, to talk to each other who are away from us, who are at distant places from us, okay. But you know, children, in olden days, okay, the time when the kings, the maharajas used to rule the country, okay, there were no telephones, there were no letters, there were no laptops and all to send the email and all. But then how the king used to send the message to the public, how the king used to send the message to the other country's king? Yes, he used to use a bird. They used to use the birds. Yes, children, they used to use the birds to the bird's wings or to the bird's legs. They used to tie the small message written in a small piece of paper, and they used to tie it to the feather wings or to the feathers of the bird or to the legs of the bird, and the bird will carry the message to that particular king. Yes, it is true. And for that, the birds were trained, it isn't it? It is not simply you tie and the bird will go to that particular place. The birds were trained for that particular thing. Yes, children, in olden days the message was given in this manner when we did not have this much technology. It is true, okay. Then sometimes not only birds were used to carry the message, but sometimes a person, a messenger, okay, a person who carries the message is called a messenger, okay. So a messenger will take the message from one country to the other country. He will ride a horse or he will go by walk and he'll give the message of this king to the other king in another country. But it is lot of time taking, isn't it? A person has to travel all the way from one country to the other country and tell the message. It is a very long time taking process, isn't it? Yes, but this also used to happen in the olden days. Yes, then slowly what happened? The technology has improved. Then slowly the letters have come. Yes, children, England letters or the cards, postcards used to be there. It is there now also, but it is very rarely used, okay. Now then what happened? I said the cards, England letters and the postcards have come, on which we can write the message what we want to tell to the other person, and we have to write the address where we have to send the letter. For example, you want to write a letter or a postcard to your friend who is in another city, okay. If you want to write a letter to your friend who is in other city, you will write all the message on in the letter and then you will write your friend's address, okay. you will write your friend's address on the letter and you will put it in the post box. You will put it in the post box. Then the postman will collect all those letters and those letters will be reaching to your friend's house. A postman will deliver letter to your friend's house, and that is also one of the way to communicate, to send the message. So what is the first one we have discussed? It was through the birds which used to carry the message. Then the messenger used to carry the message by traveling, or by by a walk, or he may ride or go on a horse and all, and he used to give the message. Then the third one we said it is through the inland letters or the postcards. Okay children, then slowly what happened, the telephones have come. Yes children, then the telephones have come. Who is the invention of the telephone children? Yes, Graham Bell has invented the telephone. And now when all the telephone will have a specific number, like we have the address, no, like every house has a address. In the same manner, there will be a different telephone numbers also. So if you dial that particular number to whom you want to talk, okay, can just dial the number and you can talk to your friends. So how it has become little easy to communicate, it has become little easy to talk with your friends or relatives, anyone it can be. Okay, now as I said, if you want to give message to your father who is in the office, what you can do, you can just dial your father's number and you can talk on the phone, and you can give the message to your father who is sitting in the office, isn't it? So because of the invention of the telephone, the communication has become little easy. Okay, now whether it is a message sent through a bird, or whether a messenger is carrying a message, or whether it is through a letter, or whether it is through a telephone, this is from one person to the other person, the message is transferred, isn't it? The message is passed from one person to the other person. That is, you are writing letter to your friend, that is, it is the communication which is taking place between you and your friend. You called up your father at office and you have given him some message, that is, you are talking, you and your father, there is a communication between you and your father. Yes children, but at the same time we also have certain means of communication which is to the public. Yes, that is what? Guess, it is the television. Yes children, all of you have the habit of listening news. Yes, one person will read the news and every one of us, all the families, all the houses, the entire country, the entire world can hear to that news reader, isn't it? That is, the message is given from one person to the many. The message is given from one person to the many, that is through the television. Yes children, television is one of the means of communication where the information is passed from one person to the many. So what is the television importance? The message can be transferred, or we will come to know about different messages which is happening in our surroundings, in our country, in other countries, through the news only. So when we watch the television, what will happen? We will get the information from all the countries, of all the places, sitting at home only. That means what is type of communication here taking place? The type of communication which is taking place here is from the newsreader to the many people, from one newsreader to the entire country, to the entire world. That is, it is a mass communication because it is going to the many people. When the message is going to the many people, it is the mass communication. Okay children, then what is the importance of television? To get the news from all the places, to get the news from many places, and it is the news is going from one person, that is from the news reader to the entire country or the world. So that is the importance of television. Okay, in the same way radio also, we can hear the news on a radio. The radio also will give the information of all the places of the country and all. So radio is also one of the means of communication. Okay, children. Then the next comes is a newspaper. Yes, all of you get newspaper at your home. Your parents, your father, your grandparents must be reading the newspaper. Yes, but you should also make it a point. You should also make it an habit of reading the newspaper, children. Yes. So what is the newspaper here? Newspaper is also a one of the means of communication. When we read the news in the newspaper, we will come to know many things related to our country, related to other countries, movies, maybe sports, okay, entertainment and all. Okay, so even the newspaper is also one of the means of communication. Communication is giving the information from one person to the other person. Simple. What is communication? Communication is the message or information given from one person to the other person. So even the newspaper is also giving information, isn't it, children? The newspaper gives information of the entire country, of the entire world, what is happening in the politics, what is happening in our country, what is happening in other countries, what is happening in the sports field. Will come to know about the weather conditions, we will come to know about the movies also, we'll come to know about the entertainment also. So newspaper is also one of the means of communication, and it also comes under mass communication. Okay, children. So the television, the newspaper comes under mass communication because the message is going from one to many. See, if you have 5 people at home, you will not get 5 newspapers, isn't it? Only one newspaper will give information to all 5, isn't it? That means the information is going from one to many. That is the reason we call television and newspaper as a mass communication. Okay, children. Now we have the computers, we have the laptops also nowadays, isn't it? And it is very easy to send the message through via email. If your friend is in another country, of course, if you have the time, you can talk over phone to your friend, but at the same time you can just email, isn't it? You can just mail your friend also, and within minutes your friend will receive the message, and you may get reply also within minutes only, isn't it? So the computers, the laptops are also the means of communication, and it is very quick and very fast to give the information using this computers and the laptops. Okay, children. These are about the different means of communication. Okay, now do you think communication is important? Yes, it is very difficult to stay without communication. Even if you want a glass of water also, you will ask your mother, "Mummy, give me a glass of water." What is that? It is a communication, isn't it? You are saying something to others, you are communicating something to others, isn't it? So to communicate to far off places, to communicate with the people who are living in distant places, far off places, we cannot talk from here. So that is the reason we use the letters, we use the mobile phones, we use the landline phones, we use the computers or the laptops, isn't it, to give the message, isn't it, children? So don't you think it is really important? So what are the different means of communication we have learned? We have seen how in olden days the birds and the messengers used to carry the information. Then through the letters and the postcards, the message can be sent to the people who are in far off places. Then we can, then has come the televisions and the telephones also are helpful to give the message. But telephone is the message which is from one person to the other person, or from one end to the other end, we can say. But whereas television will give the information from one point to the many, isn't it? Then it is the laptops and it is the computers also which are used to communicate from one place to the many places. And even we can email, that is we can email not only to one person, but the same message can be given to many people also. Usually in the office it is done. Okay, if a boss has to give any message to his employees, what he will do, he will just write one email which will go to many employees, which will go to many people who are working in the office. Okay, so it has made the means of communication, all these letters, the telephone, the newspaper, the television, the laptops, the computers, has made the communication to be more very fast. Okay, because see, sometimes we have many important messages to be given immediately. Sometimes we have some urgent messages which has to be given on a priority basis, isn't it? Then if we can't wait for a bird to fly, or we can't wait for a person to travel all the way and give the message, isn't it? So it becomes easy when we just give a call, isn't it? It just becomes easy when we message the information to the other person. So all this is because of the science and technology. So scientists are always working and bringing up more and more new technology, so that the communication can be improved more and more, and the communication time decreases. Okay, within few minutes, within few seconds, within few minutes, we can give the information to the people. Okay, children, so this is about the means of communication. Hope you understood. Thank you.